This next series is based on a true story about a girl who was bullied until she was unalived. We will be discussing some of the differences between the TV show and the actual true-life events of this case. By the end of this recap, you'll want to beach slap Kelly Ellard in the next week.
In November 14, 1997 in Saanich, British Columbia, Reena's uncle, Raj, fetches 14-year-old Reena Virk from school. He gives her the notorious B.I.G. CD, and she excitedly plays Going Back to Cali. As they drive through View Royal as she requested, they pass by Connor Fields, the guy CMC leader Josephine Bell likes. Seeing that she wrote CMC on her hand, Raj tries to talk her out of seeking friendship with the Seven Oaks girls, but she gets pissed and exits his car with the CD. She arrives at Seven Oaks Youth Home and meets Dusty, who's smoking outside, and they head to Josephine's room, where Josephine and Kelly tell her about the girl they bullied at the party they crashed. Side note, Dusty isn't really based off a real person in the true story, but some have said it's probably based on Missy Pleach. Josephine and Kelly are 100% based on their naming counterparts. Reena shows off her new Biggie CD, and they have fun singing along with it, until Josephine reprimands her from jumping on her bed. Josephine ostracizes Reena and CMC leaves to go to Connor's. Left alone in the room, Reena steals Josephine's phone book. Meanwhile, Rebecca Godfrey returns to Victoria, British Columbia after 10 years of living in New York City as she's writing a book about misunderstood girls in Victoria. Rebecca Godfrey's book is what this true crime series was based on. Going through Josephine's phone book, Reena calls everyone in it and spreads rumors about Josephine. She calls Connor and tells him Josephine has AIDS, then she asks him to go out with her. After the call, the CMC girls arrive at Connor's to buy weed, and Connor tells Josephine that he heard she has AIDS and other rumors. Connor admits it was Reena who told him. As Reena joins her strict Indian-Canadian Jehovah's Witness family for dinner, Josephine calls to invite her to party with them at Shoreline. Reena immediately leaves and tells her family she'll be home by 11. When Reena arrives, CMC confronts her about what she did, and she confidently responds like a gangster. Shortly after, Layla and Maya emerge from the crowd of teenagers, with Layla looking for Josephine, saying Josephine said she's supposed to fight some girl. Realizing it's her, Reena runs and the girls chase her. She stops at a payphone to inform her family that she's at the bus stop by the bridge and she'll be home soon. But CMC catches up to her and drags her towards under the bridge. Raj and Reena's father, Manjit, report Reena missing. Raj tells Officer Cam Bentland and her brother, Officer Scott Bentland, that she went to Seven Oaks on the day of her disappearance, and he shows them Josephine's phone book, which was found in her room. Manjit adds that Reena spoke to a boy named Connor on the phone. When they don't take them seriously, Raj storms off. As Scott goes back to his desk, he says, "Another Bic girl," prompting Cam to chase Manjit and Raj and explain to them that most of the missing cases they get are girls who have run away. Taking Reena's case seriously, Cam asks if Reena has been missing before, to which Raj says she has, but she always tells him where she's going. Before they leave, Raj tells her that the boy's name is Connor Fields. Rebecca goes to Seven Oaks to interview girls for her book, but the supervisor on duty, Martha, tells her that the girls are under government care and asks her to leave. Josephine, together with Dusty, asks Martha for a newspaper, saying Reena's missing and they're worried. When Martha leaves, Rebecca gives Josephine her number so they can call her if they're interested in doing future interviews. When Josephine learns that she lives in New York, she befriends her. In Josephine's room, Josephine shows Rebecca her locket's photo of New York mob boss John Gotti, saying she wants to work for him. When Rebecca asks about Reena, Josephine tells her that she doesn't know what happened to her because she doesn't hang out with her. The pair then adds that girls going missing isn't a big deal, and the cops call them Bic girls, because like the Bic lighters, they're disposable. Fed up with Reena running away, Reena's mother, Suman, packs up Reena's clothes, saying if she wants to leave, they should let her. Manjit, on the other hand, tries to stop her, saying they can't give up on her. Their conversation is interrupted when Dusty calls, looking for Reena, but when Suman asks who she is, Dusty hangs up. Cam visits Connor, who tells her about the fight under the bridge. He adds that Josephine called him and said that CMC is going to make sure that I don't hear from Reena again, hinting that Reena might be floating around somewhere. As the case sounds like a potential homicide, Cam sends a dive team in the gorge waterway. While Suman prays for Reena's return, CMC nervously watches the dive team in the gorge. Soon after the search, Cam shows the Virks an underwear they found in the gorge, saying they also found a pair of jeans, and Suman confirms that it belongs to Reena. While Manjit tries to remain hopeful of Reena's return, Suman tells him that she thinks Reena is gone. With the help of the phone book, Cam identifies and brings in CMC members Josephine Bell, Kelly Ellard, Layla Zarani, Maya Longuette, Warren Glowatski, and Dusty Pace for questioning. At the police station, Josephine calls Rebecca, who comes and pretends to be her guardian. When Rebecca sees Cam, she tells the police at the reception that she's friends with her and that she told her that she can talk to Josephine. Because of this, Rebecca is allowed to see the girls who are detained separately. The CCTV footage from the bus stop shows Reena emerging from under the bridge after all the teens left. Because of this, the police assume that Reena is alive and just ran away, and they let the teens go. In March 10, 1997, 8 months earlier, Reena woke up excited as it's her birthday. However, she got upset that her family wouldn't celebrate her birthday because of their religion. In the present time, Officer Roy Bentland, Cam and Scott's father and supervisor, apologizes to the teens' parents and guardians. Cam, on the other hand, continues to review the footage and tells Scott that Reena looks injured, prompting her to think that something happened under the bridge. She maintains that they should have questioned the teens before letting them go, but Roy reprimands her. At a diner with Rebecca, Josephine reveals that she taught Reena a lesson for spreading rumors about her. When Rebecca asks about what she did, Josephine proposes a deal that she will take Rebecca to the bridge and show her what happened, and in return, Rebecca must take her to New York with her and make her the star of her book. Someone calls the Virks, but when Suman answers, the person on the other line doesn't talk, and all she can hear is heavy breathing. Cam visits Rebecca to ask her about what she knows, but Rebecca only says that Josephine told her the cops are hassling her for no reason. Before she leaves, Cam warns Rebecca to stay away from Josephine. On the day Reena met Josephine 8 months earlier, Reena was looking at razors at a store after getting bullied in the locker room for her body hair. Josephine picked out a razor for her and encouraged her to shoplift. Josephine then befriended her and invited her to a vigil for Biggie at her friend's place. In the present time, Suman reports the phone calls they've been getting, and Cam informs the family about Reena being alive in the CCTV footage. Manjit becomes hopeful of Reena's return, but Raj notes that Reena is wearing her clothes in the footage, which is a contradiction to the fact that they found her underwear. When Reena got home from the store, Suman caught her shaving her legs. Although Reena told her that she was called the Beast at school, Suman continued to discourage her from shaving, saying fixation on worldly things is paganism. In the present time, Josephine and Dusty bring Rebecca under the bridge, where Dusty says Josephine put out a cigarette between Reena's eyes. Josephine then adds that they kicked her while she's lying on the ground and knocked her out when she screamed. Josephine confesses to following Reena when she came up after everyone left and pushing her over the bridge's railing when she's right by it. While Rebecca tries to remain calm, Dusty leaves as she's horrified about the revelation. A great blue heron flies towards Reena's corpse, and a group of birders, who saw and followed it, discovers her body. Raj sneaked into the house with his birthday present for Reena and caught her sneaking out to go to the vigil. After she told him where she's going, he let her leave. In the present time, Dusty calls the Virks again, but quickly hangs up when Cam arrives. Cam tells her that records show that the phone calls are coming from Seven Oaks. Thinking Dusty is guilty, Cam asks her where Reena is, but is interrupted by the station informing her that Reena has been found. When she returns to question Dusty, Dusty hyperventilates and confesses to calling the Virks, hoping Reena will pick up because she genuinely saw her as a friend. A weeping Dusty then reveals what Josephine told her and Rebecca. Reena arrived at the party and found Josephine, Kelly, and Dusty in a corner with candles and a Ouija board. Kelly didn't want Reena to be in CMC, but Josephine told her that Reena is a wannabe, so she'll do whatever they tell her. When Reena told them that it's her birthday, Dusty greeted her happy birthday. In the present time, Cam arrives as the forensics team takes Reena's corpse, and Roy apologizes for not trusting her. She tells him that Dusty confessed that Josephine did it. Meanwhile, Josephine takes Rebecca to a party and introduces her to Kelly. Bothered by the information she knows, Rebecca retreats to one of the rooms and calls the Saanich Police Department, but hangs up when she's told Cam isn't there. Suman gives Manjit a letter that came from the Crown Prosecutor of British Columbia. When he opens it, they learn that his previous criminal record has been expunged. You see, Reena had accused her own father of touching her, even though he didn't. Shortly after, Roy arrives to inform them about Reena's corpse. At the party, the partygoers watch the TV news report announcing that Reena's body has been found by a group of birders in Portage Inlet. The teens are shocked by the news, including Josephine. The Virks are shaken by Roy's news, and Raj gets upset because Cam told them that Reena was seen walking away from the bridge, giving them false hope. When Roy asks Manjit to go to the morgue to identify the body, Manjit says he can't do it, so Suman says she'll do it. At the party, Josephine denies killing Reena, telling Dusty that she exaggerated her confession a little. She tells CMC members to stay calm and not trust anyone. Rebecca heads to Cam's house to tell her about Josephine's confession, but Cam tells her that Reena was still alive at 11:47 p.m., and Josephine had signed into Seven Oaks by the midnight curfew. She tested the alibi, but no matter how fast she drove, she still failed to get to Seven Oaks before midnight, which made Josephine killing Reena impossible. She stops Rebecca from interfering, and they argue about their unresolved issue. As Samara Bailey helps her boyfriend, Warren Glowatski, do his laundry, she sees blood on his clothes, prompting her to become suspicious of him. Meanwhile, Suman identifies Reena and sees the cigarette burn between her eyes. Rebecca confronts Josephine for lying to her, but she insists that Reena is dead because of her and refuses to reveal who really did kill her. After hearing the autopsy report, Roy orders Scott to look into Manjit as he suspects him after letting Suman identify Reena instead of doing it himself. Cam, however, doesn't think it's Manjit because the perpetrator branded Reena with a bindi. 4 months earlier, Reena stormed out from her parents' efforts to discipline her and continued to rebel, trying out smoking for the first time. In the present time, Rebecca meets Raj at a vigil for Reena at Reena's school. After Cam sees her talking to Raj, she approaches her and asks her out for a drink. Dusty brought Reena with her to meet with Josephine and Kelly, and they witnessed Warren's Crip initiation. Since girls aren't allowed to join, Josephine started her own gang, the Crip Mafia Cartel, or the CMC. After Josephine and Kelly's blood oath, Josephine told an enthusiastic Reena that she needed to prove herself first. In the present time, Rebecca and Cam go to Connie's bar for drinks, where they settle their grievances. They then dance and bone. The next day, Scott tells Cam about Manjit's expunged criminal record, and she asks Rebecca to ask Raj about it. Reena invited CMC over for dinner at her family's house as Manjit wanted to know the friends she'd been hanging around with. After Reena said that her pair of boots, which was Raj's birthday gift for her, was Steve Madden, CMC accepted her dinner invite, but Josephine seemed to have a plan. In the present time, Samara confronts Warren after learning that he kicked Reena that night, but he says he only did it once, and he immediately left. Warren later confesses to going back after the others left and seeing something. When she asks what he saw, he plays her the song 187 he wrote by Spice One and says that's what happened, 187. 187 is slang for murder. Meanwhile, Josephine is shocked to find Reena's muddy Steve Madden boots in Kelly's closet, and when she asks her about it, Kelly smiles and says she did it for her. By the end of the series, we find out that after a bunch of people beat up Reena, which includes Josephine, Kelly did a final blows by herself. Warren saw this all go down and helped Kelly push Reena's dead body into the water. Kelly was extremely psychotic throughout the series and had zero remorse, while Warren felt terrible for what he did. Warren was sentenced to 10 years in prison and was released on parole in 2010. Kelly is still in prison with no grant of full parole.
This was a very difficult series to watch, and I'm glad that these people were finally caught. It won't bring back Reena, but at least her family got the justice they deserved.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel.